these injected hot dogs at the gas station. Broadcast is live. Welcome, Dry Bar Comedy fans. I'm comedian Seth Tippett here with you live. We have Andy Erikson, joined by the hilarious, the very talented, the lovely Andy Erikson. How are you doing, Andy?
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
Oh yeah, as excited as anything could ever be. I mean, you're always that excited though, aren't you? You seem like a really just positive person.
I wake up every day and go, yay, it's time to go to the bathroom. Yay, it's time for breakfast. I'm so hungry.
See, how do you wake up with that optimism? Was it just built in? Have you always lived that way, or did you have to like make a choice someday to be that happy? Because I'm a cynical person. I don't know. I look at breakfast. I say, really, eggs again?
Yeah, it's actually I took a class. No, I'm just kidding.
I took a class. I joined a cult that gave me some magic oils. They're essential, I've been told.
No, I just woke. I mean, when you're a kid, you wake up and you're surrounded by toys. It's like, and then there's snack time and nap time, and yeah, no, you just have to just keep toys and snacks around as you grow up, and
that's the secret.
Yeah, I got my teddy bear here. I don't know where my camera is. Hey guys, I got my teddy bear. It's right here.
Yeah, the teddy bear. He's actually a piñata. He's full of snacks. There's a good cheese stick in there. A hot dog.
Cheese stick and hot dog. Let's just shake him out.
That's right. This is just make it a blender.
I can't find the camera.
Blend-A-Bear.
Yeah, destroy a bear instead of build a bear.
That's Blend-A-Bear. It's just a pile of fluff and cotton and sadness now. Dang it.
This is traumatizing.
Well, Dry Bar fans, if you have any questions for Andy, please sound off in the comments. We have our lovely producer Garrett over here. He's gonna. I don't know why he's also lovely. I'm overusing that adjective, I think, but he's gonna filter through the chaff. So hopefully your question's not chaff. And if you have a question for Andy, let us know, and we'll see if we can get to it. So Andy, I have a couple questions myself while the live people are getting adjusted to watching. But how did you get started in comedy? How long ago did you start, and what made you decide that you wanted to be a comedian?
Honestly, I did not want to be a comedian. Like, I was like, this sounds horrible. It's scary. You go up in front of people and then they just stare at you and laugh at you. I was like, this sounds awful. But I really wanted to be a writer. And everyone was like, well, if you want to be a writer, you should do comedy. And so I went on stage and just immediately like fell in love. Like, I told my like silly, like my first set is so silly. I just told like my silly weird jokes and people laughed. And I was like, this is amazing. And then just literally I went from I was on the dean's list. I was taking like 8 classes, got 19 credits, all A's, went from all A's to C's and F's. And I just dove into comedy 12 shows a week for years and just got addicted immediately. So don't try it, you guys. It's scary.
Don't try it. And you're going to get, C's get degrees, but C also stands for comedy. And that's the direction you majored in hilarity. That's awesome. Did you end up finishing college?
I did finish college, yep, and I got my master's recently too.
Oh dang! What'd you get your master's in?
Screenwriting. So I'm still, I'm gonna be a writer one day.
That's awesome. I definitely gave up. I always tell people like, oh, we'll give it the old college try, which I guess is an old baseball term, but for me, I'm just like, that just means I give up after 2 years. That just means
the college try. That's
the old college try. We'll can it. Oh,
no, but I do think everyone should try comedy. I'm kidding. I really do. So if anyone wants to try comedy, like find me online and I will give you advice too. I like helping people. So if anyone wants to try it.
It's good. I mean, and that's the thing is like there are so many people who want to try it. And do you ever get burnt out when you give someone advice and they like do one open mic and then bail? You're just like, I spent like a half hour talking to you, and then you're just like, yeah.
That happens a lot. People try the one time, but honestly, I think it's enough because it's a life-changing experience to try it once. Cause that's like, you did it at least. But I should tell people like, I'm never going to talk to you again unless you do at least 5 sets.
You don't get my advice until you've been on stage a dozen
Yeah,
times. Get out of
prove
here.
it.
Where's your scars? You haven't been heckled yet.
Oh my gosh, no. That's why, yeah, and I have a joke in my special where I talk about getting heckled, where like I cried on stage because I was doing a joke about my dad and he'd recently passed away, and someone was like, "Your dad's proud of you," and I was like, "That's the best heckle I've ever had."
That's a fantastic heckle. And that is a true story?
It's 100% true. It happened at my home club in Minnesota, and I
Oh, wow.
like, and I have it filmed like or recorded. I have the audio of it, so I want to find it and like get it on NPR or something.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
But
talk
yeah,
about going viral. That's that kind of like feel good story they're looking for. That's the hugs and puppies and chocolate cookies kind of story.
yeah,
That's
I know it's
awesome.
funny because people say they watched my special, like, "Oh my god, I totally cried. I watched your special." I'm like, "Oh no, that's not what I was trying to do."
I was going for laughs.
Oh no, but yeah, so.
You had a joke about that the generic version of laughter's the best medicine. How does it? I forget. I'm botching your own joke. Why am I telling your joke on your live stream? What is
That's
this?
so funny. Yeah, like 'cause I go to sorry, this is weird. Everyone could just watch my special, which you should.
Watch your
But yeah,
special Unicorn Style on
yeah,
YouTube and the Dry Bar Comedy
yep.
app. Dry Bar
Mhm.
Comedy Plus. That's a
Yeah,
little
so
plug. Ooh, we got a lower third going now.
oh, cool. Oh, yep, in the app. Totally. I love that. I've got ads going through my special too. Like I drop ads for different like Walmart and I did used to work there though.
At
Um,
Walmart?
I did, yeah. I don't know if I had Walmart jokes in there though.
I
But
don't
there's a lot.
recall any. I did just watch it. I'm sure. Yeah, I mean, how do you not have Walmart jokes after working at Walmart, right?
That's I was working there before I started doing comedy. It was like, yeah, that's what.
Working full time student, full time comedian. Is there anything you can't do?
I'm a really bad driver. So,
Yeah. Is it
like
because you
I don't
started with
drive.
a cardboard car?
Yeah, that's true.
It's got my learner's permit. It's also made out of cardboard. That's an inside joke. You got to watch the special, everybody. We're not going to explain that one this time.
Oh, I just like, why is she just making car sounds? I don't know. I'm weird. Have you always been weird, Seth?
When did you start being weird? Well,
Decide.
oh yeah, I was a weird kid, and I honestly, do you remember what was that Nickelodeon? All that it was like their like sketch show.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that? I like sent in this crap audition VHS tape, mailed it in, and it was just like me talking to myself. There was no one else reading lines, and it was just like me with a camera and like going back and forth and doing voices, and they passed. It was a hard pass, but that's fine.
That's so cool that you auditioned with a VHS tape. That's nice.
Oh yeah, that was. But yeah, I've been a weirdo for a long time. I didn't know stand up was a thing. I also wasn't like a lot of people talk about how it's their dream to do stand up, and I didn't know. I'd seen like the Seinfeld clips, you know? And I was like, oh yeah, that's a thing that the '90s had, but I guess that's not.
Yeah.
And I wanted to. You wanted to go into screenwriting. I wanted to be a director, and then someone was like, you should try comedy, and I was like,
Yep.
what? What's just
That's for
comedy?
every job. Someone's like, "Oh, I want to be a doctor." Oh, you should do stand up. It'll be really good. It'll help you interact with different
Yeah,
clients.
your bedside manner. It's good to diffuse the tension with a little joke. You know, someone's like, "Well, you have cancer, but here's a cancer joke," and you're like, "No." I hate funny doctors. Nothing I hate more
No,
than funny
me
doctors.
too. Yeah, I was in the I had to call the ER once. I had to call the ER, 911, and they sent an
What's
ambulance.
their number again? Was it?
Yeah, it's something 555 or wait, is that Hollywood? But I called ER and they sent out like their ambulance drivers, and the guy came down and he was like, "Hey, how you doing? Probably not good." And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh no." And then he was like, "Okay, I'm gonna need your height and your weight. Sorry, I know it's not kosher to ask for a woman's weight." I'm like,
my God.
"Here's my weight. I don't care. Like, if you need my weight, I can tell you." And then he started like taking out like his like blood pressure thing and like thermometer and all that. And I was like, "Oh, great, he's a prop comic." It's just like,
Oh, great! He's a prop comic. He starts like blowing up like a
balloon animal.
balloon animal with the thing. It's like, oops, that's not supposed to happen. You got the ER doctor doing his type 5.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah,
boy.
I was like, please don't I was like, I hope no one tells him I'm a comedian because I cannot. I was like, and when we were in the ambulance too, we're making small talk. He's like, oh, so what do you do? And I'm like, I sell insurance.
Just something boring. Just don't ask me about it.
And then you actually get my whole family sells insurance, so I can tell them about deductibles and you got to
you
bundle.
Can actually talk the talk.
Oh yeah, I can bore them right back.
That's just back off. I'll back off, or I'm going to keep talking about insurance.
Yeah, just get me to the hospital. Yeah. Okay, we have some questions. Should we do some of those?
Ooh, we got some questions here. We got a question from W. Hunter Ailes. Would baseball be better to watch if it was a different sport?
Yeah, like if baseball was football?
Football. Yeah, you said you're a football fan. Who's your team? Is there a team? Utah doesn't have a football team, so I actually don't know. I don't pay attention to like what team is from which state, but you said you're in Minneapolis?
Yeah, Minnesota. Yeah. What team? Guess what our team is.
The Minnesota Oven Mitts. I don't know what the.
That would be so
cute. Oh no! Wait, that's Michigan. I'm stupid.
Michigan Oven Mitts.
Oh man,
it fits though.
You can tell I haven't been in the Midwest much.
No, you didn't do any research for this interview. I'm shocked. Why didn't you look up the football team or a soccer team?
I didn't know.
Our baseball team? I bet W. Hunter Ailes knows the Minnesota baseball team. I bet he's way smarter than you and should be doing this interview.
You know what? I agree. W. Hunter Ailes, you take it from here.
Or he or she, I suppose.
Yeah. What's a woman's W name? Why can't I think of any right now? Winona?
Ooh, that's a good name.
Woo, Hunter Ailes.
Woo!
Whoa!
What
is the team though? Minnesota
Vikings.
That sounds right.
That sounds like a team. And then the Minnesota Twins. And I just know Utah has Jazz.
We have the Jazz, which I growing up here, I had no idea that was like a team purchased from New Orleans, and that makes way more sense. And they had like the Mardi Gras colors when they first came here. They had the purple, the gold, and I was always just like Jazz. Oh, because like snow and mountains, and we're jazzy up here. No, it makes no sense at all. They really should change the name.
That's hilarious. Yep.
What are you going to be doing in the future? From Nicole. That's a question from Nicole. Thank you, Nicole.
That's a great question. I wonder if it's my sister Nicole. She's probably like, "Are you going to come hang out? Where are you?"
Why are you doing this live stream with this guy who doesn't even know where Minnesota is?
I don't know. I just like making and having friends. So if anyone asks me to be on their podcast, I'll do it.
This is how you met your husband.
It is. I talk about it in my special too. Yep. He told me he had a podcast, and then I went over to his house and we recorded. He didn't have a podcast. He just made it up.
Oh, that's
we
awesome.
Just like talked into his laptop. But yeah.
I see the way you phrased it on stage. I was really wondering if he like asked you out to do that and then just like ran down to Best Buy and just like purchased some mics and stuff and like tried to make it look legit. But if it was just a laptop, that's even better.
He didn't even try. Visual. It's just his laptop. And then they quick like recorded a first episode. I was like, oh my gosh.
Now the real question, did he post it? And do you still have the podcast that started the relationship of the century?
Yeah, he did post it. It like he kept it for maybe like 5 or 10 episodes and then started a new one. But yeah, it's somewhere. Our first date is recorded and saved. It's pretty weird.
You know what? That seems like a unique experience. I don't think very many people have like their first date recorded. If I told someone in like a single consent state or whatever, hey, I'm recording you on this first date, like we're gonna go down to the McDonald's because I'm poor.
Just recording.
But, just so you know, I have a lav mic on, so
it's just holding it.
Like back and forth. Now, what do you think about having kids? It's like, well, that's a weird first date question to record.
I need to know.
These are the questions.
I need it in writing. What are your dreams? How do you feel about corn dogs?
We got Mark from Down Under probably saying, "Are you going to travel to Australia in the future?"
Oh my gosh! So yes, I still want to answer my future question too.
Oh, sorry. We get distracted.
We totally do. See, you just start with the question and then move on.
Let's move on. We don't need the answer. The question was funny enough.
No, these are great questions. So yeah, so future tonight, me and a bunch of family members are going to bingo and a fish fry. So we're going to do that, which is great. We're going to win lots of money and then eat fish. I don't eat fish, but I'll be there around the fish.
I'll be next to the fish adjacent.
And then I eventually want to move to Japan. That's
really
fine. Yep, I've been studying Japanese with my husband.
Oh, wow.
I'm planning on going back to LA. I'm starting a podcast called Squirrel Party. I haven't started it yet, but keep an eye on that for that.
Yeah, Squirrel Party.
Yeah, Squirrel Party.
Are you gonna did you get the domain name? I think .party is actually.
Really?
I think it is. I think it's a GTLD. That's a little industry term. I don't know why I'm using acronyms, but yeah, Squirrel.party.
No one
could
buy
exist.
That. So yeah, and then also I'm planning on doing lots of pontooning this summer, and I want to make. I have a character called Pontoon Lady, and I want to make a bunch of pontoon sketches this summer and just hang out on a pontoon. Which, do you know what a pontoon is?
Is it one of those boats with like the big flat things, or is it another oven mitt that I'm just gonna? It's like, Seth, you didn't do any research at all. You don't even know what a pontoon is. Come on.
It's like a living room on like a floating. It's like a floating living room. It's like a bunch of couches and stuff.
Oh,
yeah,
they're way off.
Yeah, but it's kind of, they have little pontoon things underneath like this, and then it's the top. Yeah, there's like a little thing on top. Yeah, it's the best way to travel pontoon by pontoon.
Well, yeah, I mean, why pack a bag when you can pack your living room? That sounds way better.
Just put it on your pontoon.
But we're pontooning. That sounds like something you do like a rich person in Connecticut. Like, yes, we're going pontooning for the weekend.
This is not for rich. This is not. You'd be so surprised.
Not for rich people. Am I on the other side of the spectrum? Is it the hillbilly stuff?
I mean, honestly, you don't even need to buy a pontoon. People leave their keys in them, so you could just go into a lake and just take a pontoon out. And so many of my family members have stories of just like, yeah, we just went to the lake and grabbed someone's pontoon.
We went pontooning with someone else's.
Yeah, see, so it's very affordable. You just steal someone's, because you can't like go anywhere. Like, it's on the lake. You can't like steal
unless
it.
you like brought a truck or something.
Yeah, that would be, and if you can afford a trailer and a truck, it's like, get your own pontoon.
Get your own. Yeah. I wonder how prevalent pontoon theft is now that you're mentioning it. That seems
honestly, yeah, it's very low.
That's a blue collar crime right there.
Yeah. Okay, and then the Australia question. I would absolutely love to go to Australia. I have friends there. And if you want to be my friend, I will come visit you. We can do comedy shows.
Me or Mark? Who are you?
Sorry, Seth. Everyone in the comments.
Everyone can come do a show in Australia.
Let's all just go to Australia. What if that wasn't a question? And I was like, let's all go to Australia. I'm pretty sure it was. Yes, I hope to. And I would. That is definitely something I want to do eventually. Go to Australia.
Now, you mentioned going to Japan. You're learning Japanese. Are you going to attempt to do comedy there? Do they have a comedy scene? I have no idea. Like, I've thought about living in other countries, but I'm always just like, is there going to be able to do the jokes? You know?
Seth, there is a comedy scene everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yes, there are funny people who don't have anything else going on better in their lives who like to talk to strangers in dark rooms. That's universal.
Universal. Okay.
100% is. Like, yeah, I've done. Yeah, there's comedy.
So have you translated some of your jokes to Japanese? Have you attempted some jokes?
I have tried. Oh man, yeah, I've tried, but
the tonal language. It seems like it would be.
I mean, like my when I was younger, I grew up in the theme park. So, is it? Yeah, I'm gonna embarrass myself. Is it Wakimono? Is that childhood? No. Let me Google it. No, I'm not going to. That'll take too long. Wakai Toki. Anyways, trailer park. Oh, Sunday Nashita. I was living in a trailer. I don't know. I'm sorry, I can't.
So you know the Japanese word for trailer park. That's good to know.
I just said trailer park. Trailer park. Probably
That's the Japanese word for trailer park, because they don't have trailer parks in Japan.
They have a ton of words that, like, elevators, erabeta, and like credito caro, credit card,
Huh. So they're just like, that's interesting. I'm unable to talk right now, apparently. I'm trying to say English steals a lot of words, and then I was trying to say that, and English took all the words from me. I was like, you know what, Seth? I really hope someone tuned in right then, and they're just like, is this the live stream, or am I having a stroke? It's just like
We're
me.
just rewinding.
I love when Jim Carrey used to do that. That was always one of my favorite bits as a kid when he would like in what was it, Ace Ventura, when he did the whole rewind, sat down. Let's see that in an instant replay.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
So what is your favorite one-liner? Is it the theme park thing? Because that gets a huge laugh. That was
I like
what's your favorite?
I like telling that one. I have some new jokes that I haven't really tried on stage. You guys can tell
hit us.
Okay. So they say you should live each day like it's your last, but I think you should live each day like it's your first. Like that's what I do. Just lots of napping and crying. and pooping your pants.
Well, everyone does it. It's just, might as well just own it. Just own it.
Yeah, just live each day like it's your first. That's way more fun. It's way less stressful.
Oh yeah. Well, you got to keep the toys around in the juice box and the snacks, as we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Just tuned in, and I thought it was my internet. That's fantastic.
That's amazing. Let's do it again.
Now just talking like Sims. You ever play Sims?
Yeah, das Grau ist Freische. Es Rubitassinal. Glock, 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 glock. Dig, dig.
You have them memorized. Wow. I would just do like a bad impression. You have like the phraseology down of the Sims.
Do you remember those?
Oh yeah. No, you're on the money. I used to play that game all the time instead of real life.
It was my life. My life was a sim. It was so fun.
My siblings we were worried that like they're gonna release the Sims on Oculus or something, and it's gonna just be like
they are.
Oh, we're gonna go to the bathroom now, and it's like, wow, this is so fun. I hate going to the bathroom in real life.
I love going to the bathroom.
You just delete the toilets. I don't know if maybe everyone didn't like. They weren't sadists like me when they played The Sims and just like ruining their lives.
Yeah, no, that was gonna be your own life.
Oh man, I ruined my life. # meta. I mean, I probably shouldn't say that if we're live streaming on Facebook. They're gonna can this whole live stream.
What's it called? All promo is good promo. All good press. So whatever.
That's right.
We'll draw people in. They're like, oh, I can destroy my life.
Tell me more.
That's so fun.
Now, how is that? Now, so you were on Last Comic Standing.
Mm-hmm.
How was that? That sounds like it was that a transformative thing? How many years into your comedy career were you in when you got on that show?
I started in 2007 and I got on the show in 2015. So yeah, that was 8 years to get on the show. Yeah, and I'd been trying to get on for years. I auditioned multiple times and I finally got on, and then it was so scary. It's like the whole thing was like, I never wanted to do stand up. Like I never wanted to do stand up on TV. It's so stressful. And like I talk about it in my special too. Like I forgot my jokes on national television. Like I completely blanked, and then I talk about it, but I'm like, then I pretended to be a cat. I was like, I'm a cat, meow, 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 meow. And then like waited until I meowed until I remembered my jokes. And then I did. And then by then the audience was like, they were dying laughing. So they're like, what is this? I've never seen anything like this. So like, yeah, it was actually good that I forgot my jokes and pretended to be.
That's awesome. Like, I just love that you powered through and did it in a way that was uniquely you. Because I can tell you one thing: if I meowed on stage after one of my jokes, I don't think it would work the same. You have like an infectious energy. People just look at me like, we should leave. We should leave.
I earned that meow.
Oh, you did. From years of weirdness and your master's degree.
In weirdness. Yeah. I don't. It was wild. It was a dream come true though, because then I ended up getting third place, and then I got to tour around the country, and like I totally recommend everyone to go on a comedy tour. Like if you can. Yeah, just
do an open mic, get some advice from Andy, and then go on tour. Then you can go do your residency as a doctor, ER doctor, and do your type 5 for your patients.
Workers. I mean, teachers. Yeah, I really do think every single job could benefit from doing stand-up comedy. Yeah,
you're not wrong.
Oh, my sister's calling.
Is it Nicole?
It is Nicole. Yeah, everyone. Yeah, y'all know. Hi, Nicole. Maybe she's watching. Maybe she's trying to tell me like, oh my gosh, you're in the background. Everyone can see the picture of your fish. The shows. Oh,
Fish
sorry.
picture. I can't see it behind your pigtails.
I know. I'm like so bad at where the camera is. Hey, do you see it? Hi, guys.
It's a
Someone's like
lovely
just
ceiling.
tuning in right now. Hi.
I thought this was Dry Bar. They look drunk.
It's super dry. Too.
So dry.
I know. I'm just looking at my face the entire time. Oh, I didn't even know you were there. Hi.
Your face or me or the Dry Bar logo. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know who you're talking. Is it Mark? You're still talking to Mark. It's fine.
Yeah, Mark's cool. Where's Mark?
Let's see. From Edward. Andy, what is your funniest joke that stands out from your childhood? The funniest joke.
I mean, when I was a kid, I mean, I guess just different experiences, like getting locked inside of a locker when I was like 3 at a pool. I guess that's not a joke, but to me, I remember just thinking back and being like, that was hilarious that I got stuck in a locker.
Well, you're a tall person too, so like people might think, oh well, she was 3, but like,
oh yeah, when I was a child, I was 6 or 7. I was taller than my first grade teacher. Like I was the tallest one in the class.
I have a joke about that. I was taller than my kindergarten teacher because she was a very small woman. The joke is she was in a wheelchair, but that's a detail. Who cares?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I have like a silly the Power Rangers joke. Oh no, here's a silly joke that from my childhood that I joked about playing a trick on my hamster where I tied him up and I put with a USB cord and I put one end into my computer and I took the other and I tied it on my hamster. And I was like, haha, you're a mouse. Which hamsters hate that. They're totally like, we're not mice, we're hamsters, we're fluffy and soft, we have long hair. So it really got to him.
Hamsters hate that. Very specious of you.
I have so many just like silly, like super silly jokes. And there's like a trend in comedy, which I love too, where to be vulnerable. And I do that in my special and on stage where you like share like deep things are vulnerable. But I think what also is vulnerable is telling a really silly joke, because if it like super silly jokes, sometimes people just for some reason they can't help it. They laugh, they love it. But other times you're up there and people are like, that is so dumb. Why did she say that? And you feel alone and scared and you're like, I don't know why I just said that. It's just, I thought it would be funny. So I think telling one-liners is super vulnerable too. All joke telling is, I guess. It's like you're like, please think I'm funny.
Yeah, it's painful when you get a groan on a joke that you really love.
Yeah,
one-liner or not, and it's just people like they're like, oh, nice try. And you're like, don't do that. Don't do that to me.
And it can happen where there's just one person in the audience who can like get people to groan. Like if they do it, it's contagious. But if you kind of encourage the audience, like, hey, have fun, let yourself enjoy something. Like, don't worry what people think about you, because people think, oh, if I laugh at that, what are they going to think about me? But it's like,
think I'm dumb.
Yeah, get out of your head. Dumb people are awesome. Like being silly is awesome. Being vulnerable is awesome. Like just silly, and that's why I try to find in every audience. You never know who's in it, but like the people who like being silly and weird and like and kind of childlike, immature, but in like just like people who just like having fun, they stick with me and they find me. And the people who are like, nope, I don't want that type of fun.
Right.
They can go their own way, and people that's fine too.
Selective about it.
Yeah, and people have different days and moods. It's like I try to compare it to music, because they're comedy fans do. They get very opinionated and they like to tell people how they feel. And I think that's fine. Like it's, people want to share their opinions and feelings. But I try to think of it, I try to tell people it's like music. Like you're not expected to like every kind of music. No one ever puts that pressure on you. But with comedy, it's like people are like, no, I should like every comedian. I should like it's like, no, it's like music. You like, I like Hanson and Spice Girls and Billie Eilish and Taylor Swift and the Backstreet Boys. You don't have to like that. But like, I'm not going to go on someone's music page and be like,
right. I'm not a fan.
I'm not a fan of your music. Like, why are you listening to my music?
Exactly. It's like, don't quit your day job. Well, clearly, like, what?
And I did quit my day job. I've been a full, the pigtails. Thank you. I feel like I'm getting too old, but I'm like, whatever. I think they're fun.
Your hair
But yeah,
looks
I
great. Did you dye it recently?
did. I did. I dyed my hair, and there's a little bit of like green in it. And
Oh.
what's cool about having dyed hair like this is that so it was around Thanksgiving time, and someone said, "Oh, happy Thanksgiving. I hope you enjoy your turkey." And they're like, "Or, I mean, if you're vegan, like enjoy your tofurkey." And no one has ever said that to me. And I was like, wow, like having dyed hair makes people think I'm like a good person who like
That's
cares about
fantastic.
him. So it's like sweet having dyed hair makes me better. But then because what's weird is like before I dyed my hair, I totally look like I ate meat, right? Like totally, but not
Oh.
like steaks and like hamburgers and stuff like that. I look like I just really like corn dogs. Like that's my look. And I do. I really like corn dogs.
Sometimes you can judge a book by its cover if it's about corn dogs.
Yeah, I love corn dogs. But yeah, so yeah, I did.
That's fantastic. That's a true story. Like you added the green
Yep.
to your hair and people
Yep.
just thought you were a vegan.
Yep. It
Oh, I
happened.
love that.
We were parked outside of a gas station driving to Nebraska for Thanksgiving. And someone was like, and I was trying to talk to people a little more too, to be like, I wonder if they'll notice anything about my hair. So I was just like, have a happy Thanksgiving. Just kind of talking like, which I normally do anyways, even before my I try to start conversations with people. That's why I have another joke too, but like on airplanes, where do you like to sit on airplanes? What seat do you like?
What seat do I like?
Yeah.
I have to sit in the aisle because the plane bends too much with my height. I don't like my spine being bent with the fuselage. My scoliosis is bad enough.
That's okay. So you like aisle seats, but me, I like middle seats.
Yeah, because you get to talk to two friends.
Yeah. Yep, that's my joke. Why am I getting so many phone calls right now? Like I haven't had a phone
Blowing
call.
up. You're blowing up. It's because they're all enjoying the lovely live
This is
stream.
interview. Yes, they want to talk to me. Oh yeah, and then I have scoliosis too. Do you really have scoliosis, or do you joke about it?
No, I found out as an adult because my parents didn't care enough about me to get me tested earlier, and so it was like too late. Sorry, Seth, can't do the back brace thing, and it's like, well, that stinks. And yeah,
Sorry.
I do have some jokes about it. I talk about being a parenthesis, and the doctor, I was like, well, how did this happen? He's like, well, you've been tall for too long. Again, like back to doctors with jokes. It's like maybe this isn't the time, doc. Maybe you shouldn't talk about it. But
well, because I was diagnosed early, but at my school in like 7th grade, they just lined us all up in the gym and had us all like lean down, and they put like a book on your shoulders, and they look, because you can tell if your shoulders are uneven, then you probably have scoliosis. But they didn't tell me like why or what. They just like took me out of the gym, and I'm the only one who just like get dragged out of the gym. I'm like, what? My back is weird, and everyone's just staring at you.
Your spine did not pass the test.
Like, I just want to play dodgeball. But yes, then I found out I had scoliosis, and I had to wear a brace for 3 years. So honestly, you didn't miss out much. Like wearing a brace was not like, dang, I missed out.
Well, did it help though? I mean, would you have had a worse problem if you didn't have the brace?
Okay, so I wore the brace for 3 years. They're like, you're cured. Took the brace off. My spine went back to where it was before. They didn't understand scoliosis, I guess. And then they told me I could have surgery, but then I was 5'11" at the time, and they're like, you'd probably gain 2 inches and be 6'1". And I was like, I don't want to gain 2 more inches. And I was like, that would be horrible. People would stare at me, which was like, oh, but instead I'd rather be like curved forward, and like and my lungs were collapsing. And I'm like, that's what I preferred, because I didn't want to be 2 inches taller. So I chose to have surgery, and I did gain 2 inches, actually like 2.5, and I kind of settled down. But yeah, so I'm 6'1" now, which I don't mind. It's actually
nothing wrong with being tall. You
No.
walk in, you have some presence.
Totally. And then do you do this too, where you see someone who's really tall and you're like, wow, look how tall they are. And then you stand up and you're taller than them. You're like, whoa. That's what people think when they see me. It's like from above, you can't tell.
Oh, I know. Anytime I'm at a store, you kind of stand up a little straighter sometimes when you see some of these people. You're like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Who's
I get it.
And it's just, yeah, you forget that there's like another 6 inches on top of your eyes. You're always like,
true too.
I'm always just like, wait a minute, am I actually taller? Because I can't see the top of their head, and I can see the top of most people's head.
Mm-hmm. I love it. I love tall people. They're cool.
Yep. I What were we? Oh, I had a question. It's
Was
gone.
was it about the scientific method?
Oh, you know what? It was as it stands. It was about the scientific method. What a great segue! So smooth. You're asking your own questions. I should just leave. You could just.
Okay. How about, okay. Wow, that's interesting. So do you guys know that the definition of insanity? Do you know the definition of insanity?
Yes. Is it the Einstein's definition?
Yeah, it's the doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Like that's one of the definitions, is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. That's insanity. But that's also the scientific method. Like you do a study over and over again, expecting a different result. Like that's a good study. And like, so we're not crazy, we're scientists.
Wow, I love that. We're not crazy.
You're just testing your hypothesis.
Or scientists are all crazy.
That's true. They're mad scientists. That's the thing.
I feel like a scientist. Do you feel like a scientist on stage? Do you like when you're changing the wording and stuff and you're
Yes.
so
that's what
variables.
I love about stand-up, is because you can try and fail so many times and you get feedback right away. You don't have to wait. Like if you write, like I write screenplays too. You have to submit it to a festival. You have to pay $40. Then you find out like 6 months later if it's good or not. Like no,
it's so much harder to like get good, I feel like, because you don't have that instant feedback. The loop is so much longer.
Yep. So if anyone wants to stand, you got to do it as many times as possible. Keep trying, keep failing, and then keep
a lot of failure. There's a lot of failure. And
yeah, we get to fail. In other jobs, it's not like an option. Not like construction workers. Well, I tried to build a house. It didn't work. I'll just try again later.
It's like I got some pretty instant feedback. It fell over.
Yeah, and that's good to know. We're learning.
We wasted some money and some wood. It's not like there's a supply chain shortage. We got a question from Sue. Who inspired you to be a comedian?
Gosh, when I started, the comedians I looked up to was like the Blue Collar Comedy Tour. I love them. I listen to them all the time. Dana Carvey, Ellen DeGeneres. I really liked Mitch Hedberg, George Carlin. I thought he has some silly one-liners too. And yeah, he's just phenomenal. And yeah, I mean, I love, God, there's so many. Like Ali Wong is hilarious. Mary Mack from Minnesota. She's in my scene. She has a special. Great. She's so good. Maria Bamford. Tommy Ryman has a special on Dry Bar too. He's so funny. Brian Miller. Yeah, there's just so many. And a lot of it too. So it's like I was inspired by comedians on TV and stuff like that, but also just by having just like funny friends and family members. I had people telling me I should do comedy too. So I will say, it wasn't like I just decided. I had people being like, you should do it. You should do it. So people are telling me to do it. That's a good sign. If no one has ever told you you should do comedy, then maybe not.
Maybe go into insurance sales at that
there
point.
You go, insurance sales. Honestly, even if no one's ever told you you're funny, maybe, you know.
Yeah, I do wonder what the percentage of people who just like decided that they were funny and no one actually told them. Like they weren't the funny person in school. They weren't the funny person at the office. They're just like, I'm going to do it. And then they were good. Like, I wonder what the percentage of that is. I
bet there's some. But like I was kind of like a class clown, but like I wasn't very popular, but I would just do weird, silly things. One time I was in class and I told the entire class, like I was so excited. I was like, the teacher left. And I was like, when the teacher gets back, I'll give the signal and we'll all fall out of our desks at the exact same time. And I was like, yes, I was so excited. So I was like, the signal will be squirrels. And I was just like, I was so excited. So the teacher walked in and I went, squirrels, and they fell out of my desk and no one else
did it.
Like no one else. And
this was gosh.
In AP European history. I remember it was Mr. Dahl, my teacher, just kind of looked down at me and was just kind of like, okay. And then he was like, okay, that's what she's doing. That's fine if that's what she wants to do right now.
Oh my gosh.
He just didn't acknowledge it, just went back to teaching. I'm just kind of like, they're like, squirrel.
Thanks, classmates. You really had my back on that bit.
I know. I told the person next to me, was like, spread the word. And they were like, okay. And then just
oh my gosh.
Yeah. So yeah, I would do silly and then in college too, yeah, I dressed up like a car, and then I also dressed up like a cereal box and walked around, and I don't know. It's like it's a balance of like nowadays it's like that person wants attention and like they want to be famous on TikTok. It was like, no, I had no aspirations. I didn't like attention. Like I didn't want to be on the internet, I just thought it would be funny and just
Yeah.
do silly things. But not that there's anything against it. If people want to be on the internet and be popular, that's cool too. But
That's the thing is like I personally feel like I don't really live a funny life. I like observe funny things, and I do. But you it seems like you like actively live a funny life, like the unicorn style joke, and like
I have spurts.
you just powered through. Like if I had forgotten what animal style was, I would have just been like, we're going to Burger King. Sorry guys, like I would have bailed. I would have pulled the ripcord.
I do like making my friends laugh, so that's a big part of it too. If you have friends around and stuff like that, like I love making. Just like that's my ideal crowd size is just 3 people in line at a fast food restaurant. Yeah, I love making and I like I'll get out of my shell and I'll talk to a stranger and I'll start conversations which can be annoying. So I have gotten better at feeling it out, try not to annoy people, which is a skill, and I'm not maybe super good at it, but I have gotten better about just not inserting myself. Probably not. I'm so oblivious. But yeah, it's fun. And I think it's just a fun, that's what I think the world is about. There's so many people, and that joy you get from connecting with someone. I love doing that. And I know if someone asks, smiles at me or gives me a compliment or something, it literally brightens my day and just makes me feel better. So I've always just connecting with people and doing silly things and, trying to brighten people's days. That's fun.
And that's a good thing to do, and that's I mean, thanks for doing that, because I think the world needs more people that just go for the smile with the stranger, even if sometimes it bombs. Like you said, sometimes you get the groan.
You get the groan.
And I made a joke that I was at a Target just this last weekend, and I was with Alex Voluto. Have you met Alex Voluto? He's another comedian. He's on Dry Bar anyway.
Yeah, I think so.
But we were sitting in line and we were just talking about stuff, and I was doing a Seinfeld impression for some reason, and the guy behind me was like, "That's a great Seinfeld impression." I was like, "Actually, that was Roseanne." He didn't laugh at all. He just he regretted talking to me. He just went back to his cart. He was like, "Well, nope, not engaging anymore." But you try things. The whole world is your lab. It's like what's the Shakespeare quote? When you're a performer, the world's a stage.
Yeah, no, that's great too, because that's funny too. Because then I bet your friend thought that was hilarious, and you probably thought that was hilarious.
I thought it was great.
The other key to success for life and comedians is having a really bad memory. So you remembered that incident, but I bet there's a lot more you don't even remember of times when you've said or done something and been awkward or weird.
Oh yeah.
You'll forget. You forget. So it's it's fine. You're not even gonna remember. So say something. The rejection can be kind of scary, but sometimes I also think I have a bad memory and I'm very impulsive. So if a thought comes to my head, it's really hard for me not to go oh, cool, cat socks. Do you have any cats? Cool. How many? What are their names? And then they're now we're sharing pictures of cats and I have a best friend. It's that easy, folks.
That sounds like the secret to happiness, being impulsive and having a bad memory. My brain's like Velcro for awkward situations.
Really?
Oh,
okay.
2 weeks ago, I tried to shake, or I thought I was supposed to shake someone's hand, and he was just holding his hand out. It wasn't meant to be a handshake, and he's like, and I was like, oh, just kidding. Me too. Yeah, I forgot about coronavirus.
You just saw a hand and you shook it.
I shook his hand. He was holding it out he was gesturing. He was and I was just like, here you go. Let me just complete this other half of the handshake for you. And he's like, that wasn't a handshake. And that's stuck in my brain. It'll never leave. It'll never
leave my memory either. Why? Why did you do that?
Because I'm an idiot. I don't know. See, you have good impulses. I shouldn't trust my impulses. I shouldn't.
I've 100% done silly things like that too. Yeah. No. Oh my God. And I also have really bad eyesight. So if someone looks over and says something, I go, oh my gosh. Because I also don't want someone to be disappointed I don't remember them. And so we were at a store the other day, and actually I had just accidentally squirted hand sanitizer into my eyes. So I do have kind of
into your eyes.
I did the hand thing, and it went and it just went right in. And I was like, ah! And then, people are like, oh, you should sue this restaurant. I was like, no, I'm an idiot. I'm this is my fault. I shouldn't.
How dare you sanitize my hands
Yeah,
in a
and I was
splash-free
like,
zone?
so I just right, and it hurt so bad. But I could still see, so it's not really a good excuse. But we went over to the game store next door, and then someone was like, "Oh, hey," and I went, "Oh my gosh, how are you?" And my husband's like, "You don't know this. He's in my acting class. You've never met this man in your life. Why are you pretending you know him?" I'm like, "Why are you saying that? Just let me say like, oh, I saw him on Facebook or something." But no,
Right.
anyone who remotely gives me any attention, I'm so worried that like, what if they think I don't remember them? That's gonna make them so
Right.
sad. Um, yeah.
That's
So
why I just stop making eye contact with people. Then I can just avoid that whole set of social awkwardnesses. I just look above everybody. It's easy.
no,
It's
no, I have to look at everyone because I just need to. Eye contact.
From Squirreling Around. Andy, do you like squirrels? Their username is called Squirreling Around.
What?
They signed up for Facebook, and oh my gosh, it's true.
What?
Their username is Squirreling Around.
No way. I
Oh.
love, we had literally, my husband put a squirrel feeder right outside our house. I don't know if you can see it. Where is it? Can you see? It's like on a stick. Maybe it's over there. You see like
Oh
something
yeah, right there. I see.
Yes, there it is. He put that just for me, and he puts corn. Oh my gosh, there's a turkey. Look, you see the turkey?
What the? That's not a squirrel.
I know it's
Ugliest squirrel I've ever seen.
Which is so cool because the squirrels will sit up on the squirrel feeder and they'll grab food down and give it to the turkeys. Squirrels are the best. Yeah, wow. They feed the turkeys. So like he put a corn cob on there and then a bunch of squirrel food. It's called like Harvest Buffet. You know, it's so good. I love squirrel food. It's tasty. It's good for you.
Oh, you've eaten the squirrel food.
Yeah, I mean you have to try it.
You got to try it once. Why not? Yeah. Well, you got to do it once.
Does anyone else call this is because I'm also really into cats. Does anyone else call soup wet food?
Oh gosh, that is not the visual I needed for soup. Oh.
I did that on accident the other day. I was like, "Oh, do we have any wet food?"
Oh my gosh, that's fantastic. Do we have any wet food? You start salivating when you hear the can opener. You're just like, oh, got some
ring a bell.
Friskies over here.
But no, I don't want to not. I love squirrels so much. I think they're so cute. They're furry and they're cuddly and they're also hard to like catch and make pets. So I like the allure and like they're not just like a cat or a dog that are like easy to just come. They'll come be your friend. But squirrels you have to work really hard at.
You like the challenge.
I
like the chase. You don't want a squirrel to come to you. What kind of this friendship is worthless.
I love it. That's why I love college campuses because there's squirrels everywhere. So I keep going back to school. Got my master's just so I could.
I got a PhD in what? I don't care. I just want to see some squirrels.
And I actually took a news broadcasting class and we could give like a news broadcast on anything. And they aired it on TV in LA. And mine was about the squirrels on campus. And I was like interviewing squirrels and talking about squirrels. Like it's squirrel season. And it was on the news. Like they played my little clip. But yeah.
That's fantastic.
So my podcast will be called Squirrel Party. I bought the domain, but I haven't done anything yet. But it's just like random silliness. That's what my plan is to, and then maybe do Q&As and stuff.
With squirrels.
With just the squirrels.
How do you spell squirrel? Squirrel.
SKWIRL.
SKW. That's not going to be helpful. I was going to look and see if Squirrel Party was still available for you.
I'm sure it is. I'm pretty sure it is. I also have the domain podventure.com, which I've never done anything with it, but someone might want to buy it from me. So if anyone wants a podcast called Podventure, right? That sounds like a cool name for a podcast.
It does sound like a cool, yeah. It sounds like if they're going on an adventure and like interviewing like, bugs? I don't know, bugs.
Podventure. Oh yeah.
I have bought way too many domain names that I'm never going to do anything with.
Me too.
I bought flantrepreneur.com. Someone is like they're not just an entrepreneur, they flaunt it. They're just like, look at me and my business. I'm a flantrepreneur and I'm never going to do anything with that. I pay $12 a year for this. Garbage.
I had felinemusk.com.
a perfume for cats?
No, it was
only for felines.
It was an Elon Musk parody site where I just had like a cat that pretended it owned like a bunch of businesses as Feline Musk. But that's probably why it didn't take off because everyone thought it was cat perfume.
Oh no, that's I just didn't go to the same place as you. That's my bad. Don't give up on your dreams of having a parody site for Elon Musk. He's a weird dude.
Yeah, that's what I think is funny is that billionaires made being an astronaut not cool. That's what I mean.
Right?
Isn't
Oh,
that
I
weird?
wanted to be an astronaut so bad as a kid, and then I found out that there's no way they would send someone my size into a space
It just
capsule.
would cost too much.
They could send the entire gymnastics team from the U.S. for the same price. They're not going to send my 300-pound butt into space.
Nope, that's why we have to build our own spaceships and become billionaires. It's our own
That's right.
chance.
Tall people spaceships. It's going to happen.
Yes, tall people spaceships. Oh man, that's okay though. We can go underwater as far as we want.
Oh boy, I can't wait to be in a tiny go with who's the Titanic guy? James Cameron. Can't wait to go with James Cameron to the bottom of the ocean.
That actually does sound fun. And I don't know what you think being in outer space is going to be because you're in like a little capsule. They don't let you just float around out there.
No, I that would be nice. That would be finally some headroom.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Let's stretch out some space to stretch. Speaking of rich people, what a great segue. I'm so good at this.
Yes.
Wine. I mean, rich people drink wine all the time.
Okay, here's what I'm thinking. Okay. So the other day we were drinking wine, we were out drinking wine, and they were like, "Oh, it's a 2014." And then so what do you say if someone says, "Oh, it's a 2014. This wine is a 2014." What would you say?
I don't know.
Well, somebody would say like, "Oh, well, that's a good year."
Oh, it's a good year. Yes, 2014. Good year.
That's a good year. Like, that's what people, like, that's the common response. But then I was like, what are we going to do with all the wine that came from like 2020? It's like, oh, it's a 2020. That was a good.
Those are some sour grapes that year. That was a bad year. I love that.
I don't think I could get it out. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was a good year.
That was a good. You know what? I don't want any wine. I'm going to drink a cola.
I think I'll have a Diet Dr. Pibb.
Diet Dr. Pibb. I thought it was Mr. Pibb. Is it Dr. Pibb?
You're probably right.
Did he get his PhD? Did Dr. Pibb also love squirrels?
Dr. Pibb. I'm sure everyone does. People who don't like squirrels are either sociopaths or have gardens.
Or have it's probably both. I can see a lot of sociopaths gardening.
Having gardens. I'm gonna grow my own food.
I don't want to talk to people at the grocery store. Now I have a zucchini.
Ooh, carrots. Broccoli. That's funny. Okay.
Let's see here. Got any more questions? If you have any questions for Andy, hit us up. We got 7 minutes left, so you got 7 minutes to ask a wonderful question.
Can I tell people to read my blog too?
Oh yeah.
Do I have to do it in code?
No, do what, pump whatever you want. What shows you got coming up? What's your blog? Give us the addresses. We'll slap it up here. We'll put it in the description.
Well, I started a Substack, it's a cool new thing if you're not on Substack, where like people can do like weekly like newsletters basically, but I use mine and I just post jokes. So I just do 10 silly jokes a week, and I've been doing that. And what I like is then people can comment and stuff, and then I have people actually like tell me like what jokes I should tell on stage and like which one, give me tags and stuff and help me write my next album.
Nice.
Yeah, so I've been doing that.
You get some feedback even before you do it on stage.
Yep. So honestly, that works. Like tweeting works too, but I feel like with Substack, people are more likely to comment because on Twitter, it's like, I don't know, it's like a bigger.
What's the URL of your Substack, or how can people find you?
It's Andy Erikson, substack.com/ANDYERIKSON. So if people want to subscribe to that, I just do 10 jokes a week. And then eventually I'll share like my podcast there and upcoming shows and stuff. I haven't been doing comedy too much lately just with the pandemic and everything like that, but I'm starting to get back at it. And then I do a monthly show in Minnesota called Punchline Punch Out, and that's usually on a Tuesday. I think our next one's March 15th, a Tuesday. So if anyone wants to come to that in Minnesota, that's super fun. Where we give comedians a challenge where they have to write 5 new minutes on a topic.
Oh, wow.
Like winter or sports and
they have
boondogs.
They have some time to write that, or is it one of those like improv-y kind of things?
We give them 2 days. We want it to be a good show.
We don't want it to be an improv show. Those are different jokes.
Which I like.
Absolute crap.
Yeah. Other than that, I like to promote my podcast that doesn't exist. One day it will.
One day it will. Hey, I'm in the same boat. I've recorded like 10 episodes. Have I made a website for it? No. Nope. Someday.
That's great. Yes, everyone listen to Seth's podcast one day.
That's right. And I should get the domain name One Day Podcast.
Podventure.
And Podventure. Oh yeah. How much you selling that for? What's the going rate for Podventure? I think I need. We got Chris asking, can you tell your Taco Bell joke?
Is that you? Do you have a Taco Bell joke? Oh, my new one that I just wrote. Okay, I found. Here's my. I did the one that from my Substack. Oh my gosh, I have never said it before. What if it doesn't work? Yeah, it's andyerikson.substack.com apparently. Oh, whoops.
The subdomain.
Yeah, so it's andyerikson.substack.com. But if you search like Substack and then Andy Erikson, I'm sure. I don't know. Ugh, this is way too long. Okay, let me find my taco. Oh, it's actually like a link. See if that works. Or I could post a link to like an actual post. Let me read it first. My last one was okay. Here it is.
We got the link up in the lower third.
Okay, let me find.
Check out Andy's Substack, where you can get 10 more jokes than you had before every week.
Yeah. So there's 30 jokes online right now, and these are like new jokes that I haven't told on stage before. So here's my Taco Bell joke.
This is exclusive, and you're just giving this away for free. You could have a Patreon for this. People could.
I technically you can charge people, but I'm like, no, I'm not going to charge people to read my jokes
for these beta jokes.
Yeah, no. Okay, I tried to use my health savings account to pay for Taco Bell last night, but they didn't consider it a medical expense. If that wasn't a colonoscopy, I don't know what it is. Okay.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So that's
just a little taste for what you can get if you go to her Substack.
Mm-hmm.
Check it out. Nicole says, please give me a shout out and come to Canada.
Nicole, I love Canada. Oh my gosh, I would love to.
Have you performed in Canada?
I don't think I have. I was supposed to do shows there, but it didn't end up working out because of the pandemic. But what's the Rick Bronson's House of Comedy? Is that in Vancouver? I don't know. But yeah, I love Canadian humor meshes well with Minnesota humor. I feel like.
If only I knew where Minnesota was. I needed to pull up a map. It's next to Florida.
You'll find it.
You'll find it. Just keep driving.
Just keep driving away from Florida, and you will eventually
opposite end of Florida. That's great.
Yeah.
So is there anything else you'd like to plug? Everyone, check out Andy Erikson's special. It's on the Dry Bar Comedy Plus app. It's also on it's on YouTube.
Yep.
I believe it's called Unicorn Style. On
yes.
YouTube, it's called something about the weirdest protest.
Weirdest
I think, but
protest.
Just search for Andy Erikson. You'll find it. I think we can post some links underneath this. Anything else you'd like to say? You want to sign off for us, Andy?
Yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. I love Dry Bar and the Dry Bar community. There's so many awesome specials on Dry Bar Comedy Plus. My friend Mary Gallagher has a special coming out soon. There's also Mary Mack, Tommy Ryman, Brian Miller, as I've said too. There's so many. There's just a ton of really great specials. So go out, find something new, and then have an open mind. And if you don't like it, that's fine. You don't have to tell anyone. If you don't like it, just don't tell anyone. Just pick a new one. Be nice. Exactly. Be kind. Be nice and be kind and laugh and have fun and just connect with people and be silly and be my friend.
Be Andy's friend. Follow her on all the social medias. Thanks so much for joining me, Andy.
Yay!
Great talking to you. Great to see you again. Wish you the best. You're an awesome person.
Have a good night, everyone.
See ya.